marīchirdamanō haṃsaḥ suparṇō bhujagōttamaḥ hiraṇyanābhaḥ sutapāḥ padmanābhaḥ prajāpatiḥ.
Marīchihi means one who is very, very effulgent, one who is tejomaya. Bhagavan is tejomaya. Earlier also we had gone through that word, I think. Dyuti, Mahadyuti, splendorous, light of all lights. What light of all? We know the artificial lights around us, but there are 5 natural sources of light: sun, moon, fire, stars and lightning. How do they get their light? They get their light because there is someone behind them who lends his light to them, and therefore they in turn shed their light, and in that light we are able to transact. So therefore in the Gita, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says 13th chapter, Jyotisham api tat jyotihi, I am the light of all lights, he said. What light is Bhagavan talking about? He is not talking an external light. It's a subjective inner light. Now all the lights which we are familiar with have got properties. Even the sun's light, moon's light, fire, all of them have properties. Because they are vastus. Any vastu, any substance will have properties. That's what we first study in chemistry. Anything we pick up, physical qualities, properties, chemical properties. Bhagavan is one who has got no properties. So this is a very unique light of all lights, which is subjective, which is inside, inner subjective light without properties. And it's a very unique light. The other lights have never seen darkness. Sun has not seen darkness. He is the anti of it. Where he is, darkness cannot be there. Therefore, sun's light can illumine everything for us. But sun's light cannot illumine darkness for us. If we try to bring in the sun and say, I want you to illumine darkness, darkness would have gone away. So there is one factor which the sun's light can never illumine, and that is darkness. Here is a very special subjective light which can illumine darkness also. That's why tamasa, beyond darkness. The Lord who is there within each one of us, the Atma Vastu in us, the consciousness which is there in each one of us, it can illumine for us light. Is it well lit up? Is the room well lit up? Yes, we say. How do you know? We can see the light, the room well lit. We can see the light over there. All the bulbs are on, or the windows have been drawn and sunlight is coming inside. So we say, yes, I can see the light, and therefore the room is well lit. But supposing we are in a dark room, can you see darkness? Yes, I am seeing darkness. How can we see darkness? But we say, I am seeing darkness. I am seeing it. It's very, very dark. It's thick dark over there. So there must be some special light in all of us, with the help of which we are able to recognize or know light, and we are able to recognize darkness also. With that special faculty in us, we are able to know all that we know, the knowledge part in us, all that we know, we know. How do you know you know this? Of course I know, we say. You don't have to tell me what I know, I know. It's my knowledge, I know it. It also illumines for us our ignorance. I do not know. How do you know that you do not know? If somebody asks, in what light did you see the fact that you do not know? I know that I do not know. See, I know is there. So I know what I know, and I also know what I do not know. So there must be some strange, unique light within us which is illumining it for us. Marīchir. It must be very, very bright. Bright in quotes. Not like the brightness that we are familiar with. Sun's light, oh, I can't see directly the sun. Moon, I can see directly. Soft light. 100 candle bulb, I can't see. It's not that sort of a light. It's very, very unique. It's called as the knowing principle in us. And that knowing principle in all of us is likened to light. Because with light we are able to transact. With light we are able to see everything. So therefore it is likened to light. So here Marīchir, Where light is, we know it is very effulgent, very luminous. 𝐷𝐴𝐺𝐻 we see. Fire, when it is burning over there, so brilliant, the aura around, the golden color over there, brilliant it is. It's not at all dull, it's very, very bright, brilliant, shining. So therefore, like I said, knowledge is like unto light. Over here, intelligence is also like unto light. So in that way, with respect to that, Krishna in the 7th chapter says, 𝐷𝐢𝐧𝐤. So whether we consider that to be beauty or intelligence, whatever, he says, I am the intelligence behind the intellect. I am the beauty in the beautiful. Whatever we see beautiful, it can be a flower, it can be a leaf, it can be anything. There is something about it. There is an aura. Tejas. That word can't be actually translated, or we can't get an exact dictionary meaning for that. That is what we are talking about. It's not just light, it's something beyond light. Aura, all of them put together. So therefore Bhagavan says, I am Marīchī. He is the effulgent, he is luminous, so shining bright. Because of him everything is shining. Because of him we know everything. Krishna. I think I did use this illustration earlier. When all the gopis came and told Yashoda that he is coming home and stealing butter, stealing curd, stealing milk, she tells them all, look, he doesn't like darkness. He's scared of darkness. Keep them all in a dark room. He won't even venture into the dark room. They say, we tried it. But wherever your son comes, he is like an on bulb. Wherever Krishna is, wherever the sun is, there is light. It's not that the sun is lit up by some other light. Sun is lit up by Paramatma, Brahman. Because of Brahman, the sun shines. But what we know of, with our known sources of light, we can't light up the sun. Therefore we say, Swayam Tejaha, Swayam Prakashaha. If the sun itself is Swayam Prakashaha, he is not borrowing some light from somewhere to get his brilliance, for his aura that is there around him, for the brightness. How much more aura must be there, tejas must be there behind the very sun who is shining so brightly. That factor is being indicated over here as Marīchī. So these are all contemplative namas for us. They are not descriptive for us at all. It's not like an ordinary description. Krishna is blue in color, peacock feather, flute in hand, Rama with the bow. These are all descriptive descriptions. These are all indicating to us something. And therefore we need to reflect on it more and more and more. marīchirdamanō. Dama means to restrain, to control, to regulate. So we all have in our own capacities small areas where we are holding the fort. Ultimately, who holds the entire fort? Bhagavan. How much ever we say, I'll conquer nature with all our science improvement, discoveries, inventions. We want to control nature. We can't control nature at all. Rather, nature controls us. Cosmic phenomenal forces, we wanted to approach them with a fighting spirit. I want to control and show my dominance over Mother Nature. We can't. Rather, she dominates over all of us. So all that we can do is tell people storm is coming, tell people something is going to happen, therefore clear out or be careful. But ultimately, we have no control over the cosmic phenomenal forces. Who controls them? We know what havoc they can create, but also we know what good they can do also. So there must be some supreme mysterious power, very, very powerful, who is regulating, controlling all the cosmic phenomenal forces and making them do what they're supposed to do in this place, in this time, in this situation. We know the floods that happened. Bangalore. 1 day rain, 2 days rain, we can't do anything about it. You can imagine everything put together. What a mighty power there is in nature. And in different ways. There is fire, there is air, there is water, there is rain. The later the power in Mother Earth, earthquake, volcanoes. It's all a play of the cosmic phenomenal forces. Who controls them all, regulates them all? It is the Lord, Damana. Therefore, he is called as Damanaha, one who restrains and controls all forces outside. What about inside of us? That is why he is able to conquer and destroy, annihilate all the negative forces, the Rakshasic forces. Who? The Lord. We can't do it by ourselves. They are the Rakshasas out there. What about the Rakshasas within us? All the negative quality, the bad quality, the negative energy, each one of them so powerful. They've all done their tapas. Why? They wanted a permanent abode in each one of us, a seat in each one of us. Therefore, they have done their tapas and they are very nicely sitting in all of us. Who can come and control them, rule over them, if necessary destroy them, annihilate them? Bhagavan alone. Therefore, Damanaha. So, Damanaha, haṃsaḥ. Haṃsaḥ is a very powerful mantra by itself. There are people who do meditation holding on to the Hamsa mantra. Just like the Guru gives Diksha to us, different mantras. We have the Krishna mantra, Rama mantra, Shiva mantra, Panchakshara mantra, Ashtakshara, Dvadashakshara, Trayodashakshara, etc. Ekakshara Om. Some meditators just hold on to Om and use that as a Maha mantra for their meditation. So, Saguna aspect mantras are there, Vedic mantras are there. Hamsa is also one very powerful mantra. It can be split into two, Aham and Saha. So, when we put the two together, Aham and Saha, it becomes Hamsa. So, what do they mean? Aham means I. Saha means that or he. What he, which he are we talking about? Capital H, capital E, double underline. Brahman we are talking about. So, I am that. I am that Brahman is the meaning of Hamsa. So, they hold on to the Hamsa mantra in their seat of meditation. So, if we put the two together, Aham Saha, other way around also is there. Soham mantra they say. Saha Aham. We can reverse it also. When we say it fast, both ways we will be able to hear it. Like Rama, Mara, Mara. So, Hamsa or Saha Aham, both are called as Hamsa mantra. What do they indicate to us? They indicate to us the fourth Mahavakya which have been given out to us by the Vedas, the Upanishads. 4 Mahavakyas are there. We won't go into their details. There are each Mahavak, great statements. Each statement taken from one Veda, and therefore one Veda, and from that Veda from one of its Upanishad. Each one of them have been taken out. And the last one, the fourth one is Aham Brahmasmi. I am that Brahman. I am that Brahman doesn't mean I am here and Brahman is there and I am that Brahman. It doesn't mean that at all. That is the third one. I am Atma Brahman. So I am Atma Brahman means I, the Jivatma, I am one with Paramatma. So the merging is going on. But when it comes to the last one, though they say Aham Brahmasmi, though it looks like it indicates two, it is not two. There is a merging over there. Ganga merged with Yamuna and become what? Saraswati there. So only one over there. So Aham Brahmasmi is what is indicated by Hamsa. Bhagavan says, I am Hamsa. I am that Brahman is what he says over here. So I am that, or I am Brahman. He is Brahman. And he is telling us also, not only I am Brahman, but you are also Brahman. Because you are nothing but me, myself, in a different form. So you are also the immortal, I am also the immortal. Immortal can't be two. I am infinite, you are infinite. We can't have two infinites. That means there are two things over there. Two things mean this is finite, that is also finite. So infinite means only one. So therefore I am Ananta, you are Ananta, there can't be two Ananta, 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 same. That's what it means over here. haṃsaḥ. So I am haṃsaḥ, Bhagavan is saying over. He is identifying himself with that Maha Mantra over. They connect it with breathing in and breathing out also. There are techniques, we won't go into the technical part. haṃsaḥ also represents for us that mystical bird, swan, haṃsaḥ pakshi. It's a mystical bird, swan. And what is the uniqueness of it? If we keep in front of it water and milk mixed together, milk and water mixture, we are told it takes only the milk part and leaves behind the water part. Nobody else can do it. Even the milkman who mixed the milk and the water can't take out the water and give us only the milk part. You mixed it up, now you take it away, he can't do it. None of us can do it. Take away the milk part from a mixture of water and milk. But the haṃsaḥ pakshi can do it. So if we keep a mixture of milk and water in front of it, it takes in the milk and leaves behind the water. So all our masters are haṃsaḥ pakshi. Why? Through their meditation session, after having realized what is it, they are well established in, well rooted in, identified with milk. With milk means with the real, with the permanent, and transcended or disconnected with or detached from all that which belongs to the realm of change, the unreal, the temporary, where within themselves, which is represented by the water part. So all our masters are able to separate out milk from water in their seat of meditation with the help of their viveka, with the help of their discriminative faculty. I am the milk, I am not the water. I am the real, I am the permanent. I am not the realm of change. I don't constitute anything that belongs to the realm of change. So not only negating but disengaging from it, detaching from it. And then permanently holding on to the real, the permanent, holding on to the Brahman, experiencing it and constantly abiding in it. Therefore we call our masters not an ordinary haṃsaḥ, we say Paramahamsa. That's the title that is given to all our masters. How did that word Paramahamsa come to describe, if at all we can describe a master, it comes from here. So haṃsaḥ. I am Brahman. Bhagavan is telling us, I am Brahman, and also he says, you are also Brahman. I am Narayana, you are Narayana. Why did you fall into the level of Nara? Now therefore, if you think you are a Nara, walk the path, right path. Ayana means path. So Nara should walk the right path, the path of meditation. Of course with Vairagya, Viveka, Jnana, etc. Ayana means path. So Nara plus Ayana must become at the end Narayana. I am Madhava, you are also Madhava, Bhagavan says. Why do you think you are a Manushya? Manava. So Manava must become Madhava. So these are the suggestions given to us by these names. Powerful suggestions given to us with the help of all these namas. I have already said there are 100 interpretations for each nama. That's what Sri Madhvacharya says. We are just going through only one or two. Suparṇā. Parna means wings. Su means good. Actually, even they say Su also means gold. Suvarna. Varna means color. Suvarna we always say, we use it for gold. So Su means gold means brilliant, brilliance. The luster that gold carries with it, which is always likened to knowledge. So Suparna means one who has got very beautiful. Su also means good. That's why wherever Du is used, it means bad. Duryodhana, Dushasana. Su means good, noble, beautiful, golden, aura, brilliance, knowledge it represents. Suparna. Therefore one who has got beautiful wings. Beautiful wings means one who can fly. We are all likened to a bird. bird flies with the help of two wings. One is, it can mean Garuda Bhagavan, the Vahana of Bhagavan. And there's a very beautiful story behind him also. Why Garuda? High altitude. He can go to altitudes. He's basically, Garuda is a heavier bird than the other little birds which we are familiar with. The pigeon, the sparrow, the crow. But still it can lift off to very high altitudes. And we must see the Garuda gliding over there. Automatically our mind will become still when we see Garuda gliding over there. Wings are still and he is gliding over there. How beautifully he glides, defying gravity. And Garuda also has got Tikshna Drishti. So far away he is from the ground, but if there is any prey over there, a worm crawling on the ground, you can see from there. Tikshna Drishti. The worm also is crawling, moving. Garuda also moves. A relative motion between the two. He can miss out, but he doesn't miss out. He so beautifully comes and picks it up. The precision, the tikshnata, the observation over there, the capacity to observe, all these things are Garuda's qualities. That's why Bhagavan in Bhagavad Gita 10th chapter he says, amongst the Pakshis I am Garuda. I am Garuda, he says. He identifies himself with Garuda. So Garuda is meant over here, which is the Vahana of Bhagavan. So what is, and he carries with him two wings over there. So, and normally whenever a person is sitting down and doing meditation, they say flights of meditation. They use the word flight. Flight means flying. Not flying outside, flying within. Why? We have to reach out to higher and higher and higher levels. How do we, like a bird, we have to fly higher and higher in our seat of meditation. So we need wings. What are the two wings for us? The two wings for us are Jnana and Bhakti. So with the wing of Jnana, if one wing is there, we can't fly, we can't take off. In the context, they represent different things. So some say Jnana and Bhakti, some say Karma and Bhakti, some say mind and intellect. Both of them we need in the beginning. Afterwards we go beyond. But in the beginning we have to use whatever equipment is there with us, our inner equipment, to soar higher and higher and higher. So that is what it represents, suparṇā, Bhagavan. And also in the Mundaka Upanishad, Vedic interpretation, in the Mundaka Upanishad there is a very beautiful illustration of a tree. Branches are there, flowers are there, fruits are there, leaves are there, any tree. Two birds are sitting on that. Very beautiful birds. Beautiful wings. That is also what this represents. So Suparna mean two birds, beautiful birds, white winged birds, friendly with each other, sitting on a tree, not on the same branch. One is sitting on the topmost branch, one bird, and it's chill. It's not moving around, jumping from branch to branch now. And it's sitting on the topmost branch, not on the lower branches. The other bird, almost like that, similar. Both the birds are very beautiful. That is the one which is running around, roaming around over there, branch to branch, now pecking at a leaf, now pecking at a flower, now pecking at a fruit over there, all flustered, anxious. Why? It wants something. It's so restless. One bird. The other bird is not restless. It's calm, quiet, still, like a toy bird. It's just sitting over there and watching what is happening. So the tree there represents the tree of life, the tree of samsara, individual aspect. We can extend it to universal macro level also, the picture. Individual picture over there, the tree represents the tree of life, the tree of samsara for each one of us. In the Gita, Ashwattha Vriksha has been used so beautifully. It describes, it signifies for us the micro and the macro, our own individual life as well as universal life in total. What has been taken? The picture of an Ashwatha tree has been taken by Krishna. Very beautiful illustration over there. Kathopanishad also uses this Ashwatha Vriksha. So Vriksha is always, a tree is always like tree of life. Why? Vriksha means that which can be cut down. That which is not permanent. Life is not permanent for any of us. So our tree of life, we do not know when it will get cut off. Therefore, a tree is taken to represent for us our tree of life, tree of samsara. Now, what the branches, we won't go into that because we are doing suparṇā over here. On this tree of life, there are two birds. What are the two birds? The one down is Jivatma, we all individuals, small I. In English, small I with a curve down and a dot over there. Curve means crooked personality. Where are we crooked? We are crooked inside. Mind and intellect is terribly crooked. How many places is it bent? Innumerable places. Donku we call it. Dasuru says, how many donkus I have, how crooked I am inside. You are Sida straight. Who? Bhagavan. So very good. The sugar cane, he uses a sugar cane example. The sugar cane is all, it's all, there are some ridges around it. It bulges, then it becomes small, narrow, again it bulges, so it's crooked. So the sugar cane, stem over there represents us. But the sweetness that is there inside the sugar cane, sweetness doesn't have any crookedness. So that is Paramatma. The sweetness inside the sugar cane. And we are all sugar cane. What should happen to us? To become the sweetness, we have to go through the mission over there and completely get crushed. I mean, our ego has to get crushed and destroyed. Only then the sweetness will remain. The Ananda will remain. The very beautiful illustrations that are used by all our masters. So the tree of life over there, two birds ring. So I, small I. So I crooked, small I. Gurudev used to give this example. And a dot on top. Mean there are two parts for the small I in English when we write. Dvaita. It is not Advaita. One without a second state, which we all are supposed to reach. But we are all in Dvaita. The play of duality extended, then it becomes the world of multiplicity, plurality, inside us and outside of us. The two can become the many, has become the many. So from the many we must go back to the two, and from the two we must go back to the one. It's like that. So small I. So very beautifully Gurudev used to say, catch hold of that small I, the crooked part, straighten it. Means we have to straighten our personality, inner personality. Through what? Through sadhana. And he says when you start straightening it, supposing we can imagine an eye model in front of us, the crooked part as we go on, making it straight and straight, slightly it will go up. When it goes up, it will stick with the dot over there and it will become one. Very powerful illustration. So there is no two now, there is one, and it's standing straight and tall. Capital I. Even in English, capital I represents him. Small I represents us. So the two birds over there, the one which is roaming around on the lower branches is Jivatma. We're all restless, anxious, going here, going there. I mean, physically we know any number of activities. At the mental level, any number of activities. And at the intellectual level also, so many activities going on. All for happiness. We feel, I will get happiness by jumping from here to there and from there to there. We only get glimpses of pleasure. So that's the bird over there on the lower branches represent Jivat. What about the bird on the uppermost branch? Paramatma. What is it? The Atman in us, the consciousness in us, the life spark in us, the soul in us, SOUL in us, which doesn't go through any of the activities that we are all going through. So Paramatma is constantly an eternal witness watching over what all we are doing. So the bird on top is just watching over what the other bird is doing on the long. All that it is telling is come over here. Leave this roaming around on the lower branches. Come to where I am. And then both of us will sit together. And then you see what I am seeing. The vision that I am seeing from the topmost branch is not what you are seeing. You come over here, then you will see what I am seeing. When the Jivatma goes up to that level and sits along with Paramatma, both of them will become one. It's a way of explaining to us. Very beautiful, powerful illustration. Supan. I remember a very beautiful question and answer session which Gurudev took in Bangalore. So somebody asked him a question about, the Guru and Shishya and imparting knowledge and all that. So he said, Guru is sitting and all the students or the disciples are sitting in front of him. We are face to face with each other. Never we must turn our back to the Guru. When we are sitting for learning, in a satsang, always we must face the teacher. Never sit behind him. We shouldn't. But we make it all into a tradition. Oh, don't sit. So everybody says, oh, it's only, we bring in so many things over there. We put it all into a tradition category, but there is a meaning behind it. Never sit behind a teacher. Always in front. Face the sun and pray. Face the teacher and invoke knowledge. When a lamp is being lighted in the puja room, face the lamp. Somebody may be lighting it, but we face him. At that point of time, we don't turn our back. Why? When we turn our back, we can only see our shadow. Sun. Shadow represents ego. So there are so many reasons for all these things. We won't go into that part. This incident. So the teacher is sitting facing the student. The students are all sitting facing the teacher. What is the teacher seeing? He's seeing something higher. What the teacher is seeing, I'm not saying with the eyes. What the teacher is seeing, the students can't see. He is seeing oneness. He is reveling in his realization of having realized the one without a second, in spite of variety and plurality, multiplicity being in front of him. What are we students seeing? Diversity, multiplicity. We are not seeing what the teacher is seeing. And the teacher is not seeing what we are seeing. We are all in samsara. For us, raga is there, dvesha is there, ityadi, then kama, krodha, lobha, etc. The teacher is completely beyond all of them. So he is not seeing our realm of multiplicity, plurality, diversity. Our raga, dvesha world extended into multiplicity is not what he is seeing. His vision is something different, which we are not able to see. Our vision is all many. We are not able to see what he is saying. It's so beautiful, the illustration. All that the teacher is saying is, through his communication, through his imparting knowledge, come nearer to me, come nearer to me, come nearer to me. He's trying to pull us closer and closer and closer to him. So we have to move, not physically. All that we will see is teacher is there, then the name is there, form is there, qualities are there. He's sitting on a platform, he's got this book in front of him, the background is there, whatever it is there. See, we're all preoccupied with that. So the teacher is saying, come closer to me. With the help of the knowledge, with the help of the advice. Not physically, then we all can't go and pile up on the platform. Not possible. He's not asking us to do that also. So he says, come nearer and nearer and nearer to me. So, which means come closer to me means within ourselves. In our seat of meditation, we have to become closer and closer and closer to the Guru. That's a real seva we can do. Then he said, Gurudev said, finally when the student comes up to where the teacher is, and he can climb onto the platform and then come very close, side by side, he will say, now turn around. Why? If the teacher is facing one direction, student is facing the other direction. He has come close to him. Now he will say, you turn around. When the student or the disciple turns around and sits very close to the teacher, next to him, then the teacher will say, now do you see what I am seeing? Yes, he can see what he is seeing. What is the teacher seeing? He is teaching, he is saying oneness everywhere, ekatva. That he will point out to the student. By that time, the disciple is so evolved that he also goes into samadhi. Then there is no guru, there is no shishya separate for him. Na guru, na shishya. What is remaining? Chidananda Rupaha, Shivoham, Shivoham alone is remaining over there. Just one little word, suparṇā. So therefore, two birds over there represent Paramatma and Jivatma. So the Jivatma has to take its flight on proper wings. The mind and a well-developed, integrated mind and intellect equipment, or balance himself with the help of jnana and bhakti, or karma and bhakti, anything. In the context, it changes. Slowly we have to move higher and higher and higher to where the bird is, that bird which is sitting on the topmost branch. So, parna. Bhujagōttamaḥ. Uttama means the best. Bhujaga means serpent. Again in the 10th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Vibhuti Yoga, Bhagavan says, Anantaschasmi Nagana. Amongst the hooded, many multi-hooded serpents, he says, I am Ananta Adishesha. So here Bhagavan is identifying himself with Adishesha. Anything the best. At the end of the 10th chapter he said, wherever you see an extra glow, wherever you see an extra brilliance, wherever you see something not the ordinary, out of the ordinary, extraordinary, it's a ray of my glory, a ray of my vibhuti, Bhagavan says. It's all a question of how we see and how we hear and how we experience with the mind. We can make a hell out of a heaven, or a heaven out of a hell wherever we are. So therefore Bhujagōttama means Bhagavan is identifying himself with Ananta. Ananta means endless. That itself represents, though he has got a form, though it's got a shape, but still Bhagavan, Ananta, why? Ananta and Ananta only can be together. And they are one actually. Bhagavan is not separate from all. Vaikunta also means that which is, which represents the state of perfection. That which represents the state of infinitude, not finitude. Finitude is kuntita. Vaikunta, without finitude. So whether it is Vaikunta or whether it is Adishesha or whether it is Narayana or Lakshmi, all they are not even a package. They made it into a package for us to understand, but they are all one. All of them are nothing but Ananta and Ananta and Ananta only. We should know how to view it. Intellectually we have to appreciate it first, then only realization will come. So Bhujagōttamaḥ means, Bhagavan says, I am the serpent. What is speciality of this serpent over there? In Kshira Samudra, white milk ocean. We can't have a milk ocean out there. Milk represents a very beautiful, clean, sattvic environment. Ocean is big. So we need a very beautiful environment. If the environment is only good near the table and not near the sofa, the distance is very close. Easily we can get contaminated by the let's say the rajas or the tamas, which is just out there. So the environment must be very, very large. Gokula represents over there a very extremely large environment of goodness, nobility, virtue. Gokula and Vrindavan there. Only there Krishna grows up. Krishna represents the growth of spirituality in all of us. Birth has happened, now it has to grow in us. So milk ocean represents a very large, clean, beautiful, sattvic environment. In that, Adishesha is there. What does he represent? Mind. Mind is always likened to a serpent in our tradition. So our mind is all extroverted, thinking of 101 things going out of us. We may be sitting for satsang, mind may have gone off somewhere, to the kitchen or onto the road. Anything it must have gone. So over here the mind is, Adishesha is coiled upon himself. He is not coiled on something. So mind must coil upon itself means the extroverted, outgoing mind should be pulled back and made introvert. And normally when we see a multi-hooded serpent, the hood will be facing out so that the poison goes out to either poison the person or poison the environment, whatever it be. Here is a very unique case. Normally it doesn't happen. The hood is facing inward. Every hood represents thoughts. How many thoughts? Innumerable thoughts we have. 1,000-hooded Adishesha. That is not 999 plus 1. When we say he has got 1,000 hoods, it just means multi-hooded. How many thoughts are going out of us every moment? All thoughts must be turned in. So coiled upon himself, hood turned inward, represents the meditation in which a spiritual seeker is in. To such a person only Bhagavat Sakshatkara is possible. So on that we find Lakshmi Narayana over there. Lakshmi Narayana means Prakriti, Purusha, both are one. So Prakriti plus Purusha is Brahman. Where is Brahman to be found? In a mind, intellect, inner equipment, coiled upon itself, not outgoing but inward going, wherein all the thoughts have been contained within themselves. In the 6th chapter, Bhagavan says, whenever your mind runs out, means whenever the thoughts go out, bring them back onto the track and keep it all focused on Atman. Then don't entertain any other thought. Na kinchid api chintayet, I think is the word. Then don't entertain any other thought, because thoughts will come from outside. That is what Adishesha represents for us. He represents a very beautiful sadhana for all of us. How the mind should be when we are in meditation, so that Lakshmi Narayana Sakshatkara can happen. Saguna or Nirguna. Lakshmi Narayana is Brahman. hiraṇyanābhaḥ, I am clubbing it with Padmanābhaḥ and prajāpatiḥ. In the middle there is one more nama, sutapāḥ. We will take it up later. So hiraṇyanābhaḥ, Padmanābhaḥ and prajāpatiḥ. Pati means Lord. This, it has come very often. Lord, Master is Pati. Praja means the creature, that which has been created. Ja means to be born. So therefore Praja means that which has come into total manifestation. We all, it's not only beings, things and beings, but right now we will focus on only being creatures. So therefore Prajapati means the Lord of all creatures. Everything that has come into manifestation, who is the Lord who created? Narayana himself. So not only he creates, here Prajapati doesn't only mean he created. He creates. After he creates, he nurtures and nourishes. He looks after, he maintains. And then when it comes to Laya, if dissolution has to happen, the Lord does that also. So it's a journey from unmanifest to manifest and then back to unmanifest. Through and through all these activities of all creatures, there is one principle which is looking after everything, and that is Prajapati. But whenever the word Prajapati is used, they use it for creator Brahma. So it also means Narayana himself has become Brahma, Narayana himself has become Vishnu, the one who looks after, maintains, and Narayana himself has become the one who destroys also. After all the Trimurtis are nothing but an office, a chair, a status given depending on what they are doing. What is the work that has been allocated to them. So Prajapati, the Lord of creatures. Hiraṇyanābhaḥ, Padmanābhaḥ, Nabhi. Nabhi means navel. The navel point is supposed to be the seat of all creativity. That is why we find in the picture over there, Narayana is lying down, Vishnu is lying down on the Adishesha, and from his navel we find that there is a lotus which emerges out. And on the lotus is sitting Lord Brahma, who is in charge of creation. So therefore, since a lotus emerged from the nabi or the navel point of the Lord, he is called as Padmanābha. Lotus means Padma. And on the lotus, who is sitting? Creator is sitting. First of all, the Lord created a lotus, and later on that we find the creator Prajāpatiḥ seated on it. So Padmanābha means one who supports at his creative site, a site, center, which happens to be the nabi or the navel, all creative power. That is termed as Padmanābha. So the navel point is supposed to be the seat of all creative power, whose not only Bhagavan's, even for us also. The navel point is supposed to be the place from which all creativity manifests itself. Actually, we think we have used our intellect. This I created, or I wrote a poem, or I did this, whatever it be. We normally say, I use my intelligence, I use my buddhi, I use my brain, and therefore this whatever is there in front of us is the outcome of my intelligence. So we always point out to the brain that is there in our head. But for that brain to function and give to us something creative, whether it is a poem or whatever it is, from where did that creativity arise? It doesn't arise from the brain. We think it is from the brain, but it is supposed to be from the navel point. Even literally also, when we were all born, we were all attached to the mother through that navel point only. So the navel point is always supposed to be the seat of creativity. We were all created. We all became manifest. So traditionally, not only traditionally, very scientifically, the navel point is supposed to be the seat of all creative power, including our talking. There are 4 levels of speech. When we open our mouth and say something loud enough for the other person to hear, that is the last stage of speech. So before that, there are 3 levels. So from where did the first level arise? It arises from our nabi, not from our intellect. So you said these words so nice, it came out of your intellect. No, it didn't come out of our intellect actually. Strictly speaking, it came from our nabi, from our navel point. So 4 levels of speech are there. Technically, they are being given names also. And the first one, the very, very subtlest one, subtlest level, from where does that speech arise in us? Level 1. For it to become level 4, wherein we speak out our words for somebody else to hear it. There it is the grossest form of speech. The subtlest form of our speech is supposed to arise from our navel point. So Padmanābha, therefore. So the lotus itself was created by Bhagavan, and on that we find this creator seated who creates the worlds and whatever is there in the world. Therefore we address him as Padmanābha. And also, what does that lotus which Bhagavan created, on which Brahma is seated, represents for us? The lotus represents beauty. There is beauty in creation. Lotus represents truth. Lotus represents knowledge. Without knowledge, we can't create anything. And lotus also blooms only when the sun comes up. Sun stands for knowledge. So therefore, lotus stands for knowledge. Lotus stands for balance and symmetry. So in creation, we never see anything chaotic. Everything is very, very streamlined. There is a harmony over there. There is a symmetry over there. Because beauty is symmetry and symmetry is beauty. Where we see something asymmetric, it is not beauty at all. So therefore, he is addressed as Padmanābha. So Padmanābha and Prajāpati we have finished. 𝐏iranyanābhaḥ. Again, Nābha, from the navel point of Bhagavan, the lotus emerged, and on the lotus who is sitting? Creator Brahma. He is called as Hiranyagarbha. There is another word for Brahma, the creator Brahma. He is also called as Hiranyagarbha. Garbha means womb. So the womb is the one which has got the living being who is not yet manifest. We were all in the womb. So in the Garbha we were. Creator is called as Hiranyagarbha. Hiranya means not only gold, Hiranya means so many beings. So many species. He not only created human beings, all kingdoms he has created. Plant, animal, human kingdom, everything he has created. So all of that is supposed to be in his womb. In his womb means it is there, unmanifest, hidden from us, and then slowly he brought it into manifestation. Therefore, the creator is also called as Hiranyagarbha. And who supports the creator, or who supports Hiranyagarbha? Bhagavan supports him. Where does he support him? He supports him at his navel point, which is, we've already seen, the seat of all creative power. Therefore, Narayana is also addressed as Hiranyanābhaḥ. So Hiranyanābhaḥ, Padmanābhaḥ, Prajāpatiḥ. Then there is 195th Nama, Sutapāḥ. We've already gone through one similar, a Nama which has got a similar meaning, Mahatapāḥ. Earlier it came. So Tapāḥ. Tapas means consistent thinking of one thought. So it should be like a chain of thoughts or a train of thoughts, but the thoughts should not be dissimilar. Then we don't call it tapas. We are told all the gods went and did tapas, the Rakshasas went and did tapas. So when somebody is sitting for tapas, what are they doing? They are only consistently thinking of one thought in their mind. Whether it is Rama or Shiva, or all Rakshasas, mainly they do tapas on Brahmaji. So they are taking the name of Lord Brahma. So only one thought, similar thought, lined up, thought after thought, it should be the same. So one similar thought to the exclusion of all dissimilar thoughts. No other thought should come in. That is called as tapas. Su means good. Su means noble. Su means glorious. So there the word was Maha, one who performs great tapas. Here it is one who performs glorious or noble, good tapas. So what does it mean over here? We already saw tapas means thinking. Thinking means sankalpa. So our sankalpas, that is willing and wishing, is nothing but a thought process only. Maybe we have not told it to anybody, but still it is there in us. So this willing of us, this wishing within us, this chitta will is nothing but a subtle thought in us. So Bhagavan's thoughts are glorious, mahan, great, noble, and they ultimately fulfill themselves. They go up to their logical conclusion halfway through, like our willing, whatever we will for doesn't happen many times. Very often it doesn't happen. Either it takes a long time, or what we wanted, to that extent it has not manifested itself, half and half. So we are not very happy, but okay, what we wanted, it has come. But how we wanted it, that much of fulfillment has not come to us. So in our cases, our willing, our wishing, hurdles are there, obstacles are there, challenges are there. And whatever we wanted may not come to us to the extent that we willed for and wished for. But Bhagavan's is not like that at all. Earlier, the one more Nama was there, Anagha. Everything becomes meaningful, purposeful when it comes to his sankalpa or his thought. For us, it never ever goes in vain for Bhagavan. In our cases, it can be in vain. I wanted it. I willed for it, I wished for it, I worked very, very hard for it also. But what to do? In vain, we say. Which means I didn't get the final result that I expected in my life. Then we say in vain. For Bhagavan, there is no in vain at all. So therefore, whatever he wills, even very beautifully they say, even if he has willed not to give to us something which we so much wanted, it's a blessing only. So from his standpoint, it is a fulfillment. What? Not to give to us what we wanted. But on this side, we are crying, cribbing, groaning, mumbling, complaining. I did not get what I wanted in spite of putting in so much of effort. So for us it is in vain. But from Bhagavan's standpoint, never ever is in vain. Even if we think negative, it is negative. In the sense, whatever we wanted, Bhagavan didn't give to us. So he didn't bless us, he didn't grace us. Even if we think like that, from his standpoint, it is a blessing only. We did not deserve it, or we did not need it, and therefore Bhagavan has not given it to us. So from his standpoint, his will, whatever he wanted, has got accomplished. That is why Dasaru very nicely says, Hari Chitta Satya, Nara Chitta Lavalesha Nadayadu, he says. Whatever Bhagavan wishes, Sankalpa, his will, alone will ultimately get executed or fulfilled. Therefore, in that sense, sutapāḥ.